Yet I supposed it necessary to send to you Epaphroditus, my brother, and companion in labor, and fellow soldier, but your messenger, and he that ministered to my wants. For he longed after you all, and was full of heaviness, because that ye had heard that he had been sick. For indeed he was sick nigh unto death, but God had mercy on him, and not on him only, but on me also, lest I should have sorrow upon sorrow. I sent him therefore the more carefully, that, when ye see him again, ye may rejoice, and that I may be the less sorrowful. Receive him therefore in the Lord with all gladness, and hold such in reputation, because for the work of Christ he was nigh unto death, not regarding his life, to supply your lack of service toward me. Philippians 2 verse 25-30. Beloved, when Paul speaks of Epaphroditus, my brother, companion in labor, fellow soldier, your messenger, he is revealing to you the secret activity of your own imagination. Epaphroditus is the living supposition you dispatch into the unseen on your behalf. He carries your desire, ministers your lack, and returns to you bearing proof. Notice how he was sick nigh unto death. Your assumption, once alive, may be pressed so low that it seems impotent, Christ crucified within you. Yet God has mercy on even that weakest key. Your imagination, though it appears dead, is wiser and stronger than the world's reason. Mercy rekindles it, lest sorrow multiply upon sorrow in the mind. Paul sent him the more carefully, and here is your lesson. When an assumption wavers, cultivate it more diligently. Fan the spark in the silence of your heart. Let no doubt interfere. Each evening reaffirm the inner conviction. The wish fulfilled is already fact. When Epaphroditus returns, you are told to receive him in the Lord with all gladness, and hold such in reputation. To receive in the Lord is simply to welcome that imaginal act as absolute truth. Give it place in your mind. Speak to it lovingly. Treat it as your trusted companion. Understand, for the work of Christ he was nigh unto death, not regarding his life. The messenger dismisses the evidence of senses. He journeys onward regardless of seeming defeat. His only care is to supply the lack of service toward Paul, to bring you joy. So you, devoted student, must become Simon. Consent to the word, bear the cross of assumption quietly, and trust that this bitter tree becomes wings upon which you soar. Carry the burden of divine imagination with gladness, for in that burden lie wings, and in that cross the seed of resurrection. When Paul longed after you all, and was full of heaviness, he describes the soul's sense of separation from its own source of renewal. Epaphroditus personifies that hidden faculty, your God-given messenger, so weakened by doubt or despair that it nears collapse. Yet God had mercy on him, showing the spontaneous intervention of inner compassion once you acknowledge the messenger's plight. The messenger's sickness, nigh unto death, is the contracted imagination starved of faith. Divine mercy is the corrective power of assumption. The moment you accept and honor this inner envoy, your imagination revives and ministers to your whole life. Sending Epaphroditus back that ye may rejoice is the symbolic act of reintegrating this faculty into everyday awareness, inviting the restored creative power to reshape your world. Here lies the secret. Within you dwells a divine messenger, imagination itself, whose inherent vitality can be starved by negative expectation, but instantly reborn through your conscious acceptance. The text urges you to receive him in the Lord with all gladness. That is, esteem and nurture your imaginings as holy ministers of creation. In so doing, you tap the omnipotence and wisdom of your own soul. Each morning, pause in stillness and mentally send for your inner messenger. As you do this, notice any heaviness stirring within you, and greet it with gentle kindness by affirming, I receive you in joy. Then allow a brief but vivid image to arise of your messenger, restored healthy, bright, and alive. As you hold this vision, trust that its guidance will begin to flow in the form of small intuitive nudges and effortless solutions. Whenever doubt begins to loom, simply remember that you have already invited and received this power. In that remembrance, sorrow becomes the less sorrowful, and your life naturally transforms. In practicing this each day, the words of Philippians become more than remote history. They unfold as your living blueprint. You learn to identify, honor, and deploy your divine messenger, your own human imagination, to manifest healing, joy, and an ever-expanding life.